invincible. go. Invincible. Invincible. very good afternoon to you and welcome here to the home of Cruttayard GA Club. We're in County Laois for the clash in the Lidl Ireland Ladies Football National Football League. It is the round 3 of Division 2 and it's a mid-table clash between Laois and Tyrone. My name is Killian Whelan and over the next couple of hours we'll be bringing you the best of the action, which promises to be a tight enough affair, I'd imagine, between those two sides. Two sides that know each other of late recently. They played, of course, in last year's All-Ireland quarter-final that saw Laois, of course, ultimately win and go on to win the intermediate title. Tyrone, well, they have been at senior level, but the last couple of years have been a little bit of a struggle, and well, they'll be hoping to ensure that they can maybe maintain their Division 2 status this year and maybe make a mark later on the championship. But it's all wait and see. They're looking to bounce back, both teams, from defeats the last day out. Both have victories in the opening day, but things just went askew for them on the round 2. Let's see what comes of it today. So both teams have made changes. We'll bring you all those changes as well, and I'll be joined on commentary throughout the afternoon by Aideen Dunn. Stay with us. The man you see on screen is Laois manager Donny Brennan. Donny, on home turf, and as we know in the league, I think home games are vital to secure points, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Look, there's a massive trend there this year that the home teams are coming out on top, and we'll be hoping for the same today.
Looking to bounce back from the last day as well?
Definitely, and look, it's not so much about results, but learning from our mistakes last week and also from the week before that against Monaghan, and try to build through the league and preparing for championship.
Donny, there was a lot of talk maybe about the kick-out strategy that it worked to such good effect against Monaghan, but maybe did Westmeath kind of get a twig on it and it might have put you under a little bit more pressure. Has that changed, or are you happy to stick with it?
Oh well, we'll find out that now in a few minutes.
Looking at as well, a couple of girls getting an opportunity again today, and a bit of new blood coming into the panel also. Yeah, no, definitely.
Look at the league is for trying to develop a panel in preparation for championship, and also for years to come. These new girls are getting an opportunity, few making their debut today, and look at it, it'd be interesting to see how they get on, but we've full belief in them and their talents.
Just looking at the league though, is that what you see it as, that maybe consolidate the position in Division 2 and get girls a bit of game time?
Yeah, no, definitely, but at the same time Laois ladies need to be in Division 2 and pushing to Division 1 in order to be competing at senior level and to be going to where they want. So while we will be developing, we'll be looking to win every match at the same time, but every girl has to get opportunities in order to develop.
And last question, you're welcoming Tyrone here today, a side that pushed you all the way in that All-Ireland quarter-final last year.
Yeah, no, definitely, and Tyrone would have been hot favourites going into that match by all the so-called media pundits and things like that, but we were happy with where we are. We're happy with where we are now, and look, at Tyrone are going to be a massive test of one win from 2 as well in Division 2, and they're operating at senior level for the last few years, bar last year, and Division 2. So look, at they're the teams that you want to be playing, and we look forward to the challenge.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Man, Donny, thank you. Man you see on screen is Tyrone manager Sean O'Kane. Sean, a bit of a trip for you down here to the Midlands and looking to bounce back from the last day.
Absolutely, a poor performance against Monaghan. We just weren't at the races at all, and it was very disappointing.
Looking at it though, Sean, it's a mid-table clash now. Laois and yourselves very kind of similar form. What are you hoping to get from today?
I'm hoping to get more than we got the last time we played Laois, but listen, we have a young side of young people in, and we have experience as well, and we're looking for a performance today, and if the performance is better than last week, well, maybe it'll take us there, maybe it won't,
Sean, I know you came in at the end last year, the league campaign, and you found yourself in a relegation battle. I'm sure you're kind of, these kind of next 2 games are ones where can decide your future as such within the division. I'm hoping and you're probably hoping you won't be kind of caught up in a relegation scenario. So vitally getting points on the board now as soon as possible as such.
Absolutely, we have a week's break, and then we have Armagh home, away to Westmeath, away to Tipperary, and home to Cavan. So that's tough. A lot of those teams have come down for senior, and some are senior. So that's where we find ourselves in. We'll see how it works out today.
Sean, important though as well, as you said, a couple of girls, making their debuts as such and getting game time with Tyrone. Is that important for you with this league campaign and then build towards the championship?
Absolutely. We want to stay in Division 2. We really don't want to go down, but I mean to say we have 3 or 4 on the injury list since November, and a couple might get some game time today. They're getting back to fitness, so yes, hopefully things been well, we'll be stronger for championship, but championship's not in their heads. I mean, it's about league, about points in the league.
Yeah. And final question to you, these kind of away days and trips and whatever that have to be made, character building is a lot of it, and a good experience for, as you said, some of those younger crew that have come into your team.
Absolutely. I mean to say, I was up at 6:30 this morning, and I lived quite close to Donegal border, but I mean to say, the trip's not the issue. It's you want to play for your county, you have to go and play it, and you have to play against the teams away from home as well as home. So we're looking forward to it.
Best of luck, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. And you're welcome back here to Cretty GAA grounds then in County Laois for this Little Ireland Ladies National Football League Division 2 Round 3 encounter. And Laois just off to our right hand side at the moment, just going into their little final setup now. They've been warming up over the last while. And Tyrone down to our left hand side. My name is Killian Whelan, and joining me on commentary this afternoon is Aideen Dunn. Aideen, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Killian. Nice to be here.
Good to have you with us. And Aideen, you know, you'll be no stranger to some of these girls that are out here representing Laois today.
Absolutely not. No, I've been following them obviously last year with the All Ireland win. I play myself with a couple of them, and sure, there's some good names in there now today.
Good names, all right. And just, you know, talking to Donny Brennan, we heard him here just before the off. You know, he's blooding a few new players as well, because there's about 5 or 6 as was from last year's panel, and a few influential ones who've decided not to commit this year. Yeah,
there's a few stepped away. I know Aisling Donaher stepped away. She retired on a high after last year's win, so she'll be a big loss this year. But they do have young players coming up. They have Tara Byrne, the likes of Tara Byrne coming in there. Gráinne Moran from Portlaoise, she was really strong with club this year. So they do have people coming up along, and new girls in this year. And I think he seems to be working fairly well with them, and he's figuring it out as he goes. And I think he's put a good, strong unit together there.
But the one thing I suppose he's looking to bounce back from is from obviously a bit of a chastening defeat to Westmeath the last day. The concession of 7 goals was a bit of a blip in the system, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And I think the only thing they have with them is that Tyrone are also off the back of a loss as well. So it's very much even here today. They're both going to be looking for the win, both going to want to be proving themselves after their losses. It is obviously, you know, they had a massive loss the last day and they won't be happy with it, naturally enough, but they'll have worked on it during the week, and they can take their first win against Monaghan with them into this game. And Tyrone actually lost out to Monaghan, Laois beat Monaghan, so they'll have that, you know, that'll be in the back of their minds at the same time. Yeah,
and that's probably our only real barometer here today, because, you know, we can't even judge maybe last year's quarter final because there's been a few changes on both. So
exactly.
We're looking at that Monaghan game, and that would seem to stack then that Laois are the favourites here.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think Laois should be quietly confident with this one as well. As I said, they have the Monaghan win under their belt. They've seen that Tyrone have lost out to Monaghan. I know you can't look too much into it. At the same time, there will be changes, and, you know, could be different conditions and all the rest, so it is very much all on the day. But at the same time, it's going to be in the back of their minds. They're going to be confident going into this. They've worked throughout the week after the Westmeath game. They know where they went wrong, and they know what they need to do.
Know what they need to do. Looking at Tyrone, you know, a county that over the years have you know, produced some quite good footballers, and you know, would have been up at the senior table, won an intermediate title similar to Laois last year. They won it back in 2018, beat a Meath team, of course, and we've seen what they've gone on to do. But they've lost out the likes of Gemma Begley, who was a great servant. But like, they do have, you know, again, a new crop, and still a few old hands there. You know, you can't take them for granted here again today either.
Absolutely not. No, and as much as I can stand here and say that Laois, you know, they'll be quietly confident, Tyrone are the exact same here today. They have absolutely no reason not to be. As I said, it's very much a clean slate for the two teams. They both have 2 losses, and between them there's 2 losses and 2 wins, so it's very much a clean slate. Tyrone are going to want to prove themselves. As I said, they have a superb track history. They're going to want to keep building on that. They're going to want to get back to the glory days, and they've every reason to have confidence here today.
Yeah, well, we wait and see how it progresses. Of course, both teams have a number of changes from the last day out, and Laois have announced 4 in total for the encounter here with Tyrone. So team you're going to see on screen sees the changes then, and they are as follows then. So coming in to the goal will be Naomi Luttrell from St. Conleth's. She'll be wearing the number 16 shirt, but she is between the sticks. Anna Healy, who is wearing 2, she'll be moved to the middle of the field because she is replacing Aoife Curran there, because Sinead Farley is going to come in the right corner back position wearing number 17, she of St. Joseph's. Clodagh Dunn of Ballarone remains on the edge of the square alongside Amy Kelly in the left corner of St. Conleth's. No change in the half back line, a very strong one indeed it is. Rachel Williams of Sarsfields, Ellen Healy from Portlaoise the captain, and Laura Nerney, of course, veteran of many of Laois campaign, back in harness again this year, and stood out probably in the defeat the last day against Westmeath. She'll have the number 7 on her back. Andrea Moran will wear the number 9 jersey in the middle of field alongside the aforementioned Anna Healy. Andrea, of course, one of the new stars on the Laois team, and she, of course, of Ballarone. And then there's 2 changes in the half forward and full forward lines. Ava Galvin of St. Conleth's, she'll wear 10, and then you have Aaron Fitzpatrick, who will move in from the left wing. She'll be playing centre forward wearing the number 12 shirt there from Park Ratniska, and coming into the team is Grania Moran from Portlaoise. She'll have number 20 on her back, and she replaces Sarah Ann Fitzgerald. And then in the full forward line, Mo Nerney from Timahoe, she'll wear number 13. Moving into full forward will be Laura Marie Marr, she'll be wearing number 11 from Sarsfields, and replacing Sheaffer Havel will be Katie Donoghue from Timahoe, and she'll have number 21 on her back. Moving to Tyrone then, and they have 6 changes from their last day out. That game, of course, was against Monaghan, so a little bit of a moving around on that, and you can see on screen it is no different to what was released during the week, but it is different from that game against Monaghan. Caitlin Donnelly of Fintona is in goal. She's holding on to her place. Rebecca Barker is the only one of the full back line that is there from the last day. She of Ardbow, and she's been joined by Caoimhe McGee of Moy and Joanne Barrett of Drumragh. The half back line unchanged. Slane McCarroll played the last day, but she's moving back from the forwards into the right wing back position of St. McCartan's. Emer Quinn of Moortown will wear the number 6, and Maeve Corrigan will be out on her left hand side of the famed club Ergal Kieran. At centre field then, Emma Jane Gervin, of course a veteran of many a campaign now of Aon Rua, will wear 8. Alongside her will be Aveen McHugh of Ahrin, and then in the half forward line it's Niamh Hughes of Aon Rua, Grania Rafferty of Killishall, and Emma Lone of Fintona. They are the half forward line, a complete change from the last day. Maria Canavan, she of course of the famed Canavan name, will be wearing the number 13 shirt. Alongside her will be Maeve Mallon from Aon Rua, and coming into the team today is her clubmate Aoife McGahan, and she'll be wearing the number 15 shirt. So from both the defeats, obviously the managers feel they have to shake it up a little bit and give opportunities maybe to some girls that might be showing form in training.
Exactly, and everybody deserves the equal chance. You know, if you're showing up at training, then you deserve to have your spot on the team, and they're trying out different things here today. I think it'll be interesting to see how Laois go about their mistakes that they'll want to wrong from the last game. Their offensive kickouts in particular worked well against Monaghan, didn't work very well against Westmeath, resulted in 2 or 3 scores, and also turnovers absolutely killed them. So if Tyrone are really clued in here today and really on the ball, quite literally, if turnovers kill them again today, that'll be a massive thing for them.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about that, and this is nothing against Emer Barry because she is an All-Ireland winning goalkeeper. She's been replaced here today. Obviously Donny maybe just trying to take some of the heat off, and maybe he maintained in the interview anyway beforehand he's going to maintain that kick-out strategy, so obviously feels, you know, maybe let's give young Luttrell her opportunity, Naomi there, and see who she gets on with the strategy.
Absolutely, and the only way that she's going to learn as well is by coming in and giving it a go and trying it out. She's obviously been doing well at training, she's earned her spot, so it'll be interesting to see now what way it works out. They looks like a strong suit here today, but also so does Tyrone, so it'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting encounter indeed. It's sun-bedecked here in the famed pitch of Creddyard in County Laois. Used to be the home of one of the best club teams in the country at one stage. I'm probably showing my age, but back in the 80s, Creddyard would have been a team that would have been contesting at provincial and All-Ireland level. And well, maybe those days are behind them, but still a very strong club here within Laois, and they're welcoming Laois and Tyrone here to their surface today, which is, I have to say, is in fine fettle. Match official for us today will be Angela Gallagher. Angela from the Lucan Sarsfields club in Dublin, and she's been helped out by a couple of local officials. I believe we have our full deck of officials with us now. And we're good to go, just waiting for a football to be kicked. And we'll be ready to go. So a few changes in the middle there, and we're looking at positional switches already taking place. I see Lauren Nurney switching angles and wings with Rachel Williams. Just who they're going to pick up. And here we are. Ball is in, game is on. Laois are the ones that get the touch on it. And it looks like it's going to be Eva Galvin and Grania Moore that were in for that throw up there, and they're going to get the ball moving now with Rachel Williams. The Sarsfields player got a point the last day. Throws a nice ball now in here towards Galvin. Galvin now giving it on to Andrea Moore, and good strong run from her, but just as she went to take that kick, I think she got a little bit of a touch from the Tyrone player, and that kind of put her off, and it's out for the first wide of the game. But a strong start there from the throw-in, Nadine. Absolutely, a strong start, and they're working well off each other there in that play. Andrea was just unlucky there with the last kick, but they seem fairly clued in so far. Yeah, Laois putting the push on straight away. Not too many players back beyond the 65 on that kick out, but Tyrone worked it out anyway, and they've got the free in to kick it along. The wind will be behind Tyrone in this first half of the day. Attack the clubhouse off to my right hand side. It will be the, I suppose, the Ballylinen end of the ground here, as that ball goes forward there, trying to find Maria Canavan, but it's cut out by that Laois defence, but they've thrown the ball away, and Canavan got the hands up and she gets inside, flicks the ball over to the far side now, looking to spin around there was Niamh Hughes, but the ball is won back by the home side, and they give it off here now to Laura Nurney, the doctor of course, who back from having a baby boy last year, and back in harness, as he said, with Donny Brennan. Was of course the liaison officer with the panel last year that won the All-Ireland, and Laois have worked it very quickly down the field. Grania Moore getting on this ball there on Fitzpatrick, trying to find inside Laura Marie Marr, but that ball got away, and Anthony Galler giving the advantage to Tyrone now, and they have numbers here as they try to break out. Toe to hand there with it with Emma Jane Gervin. Long ball down along the field now, taken into possession there very well was Niamh Hughes, stepping inside the attentions of Sinead Farrelly, still going though. Hughes and Farrelly holding on to her though was Farrelly. Hughes takes it quickly, ball is inside. Luttrell gets a shout from Williams, and she's able to play that ball out. Tyrone looked, the referee wasn't allowing that quick free to take place, and they'll have a second bite of the cherry at the post here at the clubhouse end of Cretty Yard. Laois were a little bit open on that side. They were open, yeah. The only thing they had there, they were all clued in here in the backs. There was a turnover that they reacted really well. That's definitely a positive compared to the last day against Westmeath. There was quick reaction to it. They're going to want to just not leave themselves as open. They worked it well down the field. You know, they are recovering well, but again, there's 2 turnovers there in the first couple of minutes, which is what we were saying before. How will they work with their turnovers here today? Maria Canavan then with this shot, trying to judge the wind. The umpires liking it, going for the flag, gets over the bar. Maria Canavan then 4 points the first day, 1-4 against Monaghan, and she's got a point here in Cretty Yard against Laois, and it's the visitors that lead. Now they're putting a press on the Laois kick out here, trying to test out young Luttrell. That was a good run in fairness though by the lady that's wearing number 2 out there, and that of course Anna Healy. And Laois get that kick out away, and a good interchange of play there with herself and Aaron Fitzpatrick getting the ball inside. Eva Galvin giving it back to Laura Marie Marr inside. She heard a shout there from Katie Donoghue. Donoghue looking to get in along the end line, being held up there by Maeve Corrigan. Has to go backwards here and give it to Grania Moore. Moore thought about it, but heard a shout in field. It's Anna Healy now looking to drive forward. The physiotherapist looking to step around the house a little bit here from Park Radniska, giving it out now to the number 9. That's Andrea Moore. Moore looking to step inside her immediate attacker, giving it to Marr. Marr stepping around the house a little bit. It's a good white and red wall here at the moment from Tyrone as Laois looking to charge forward. Bit of a hopeful ball inside. It works out for Laois, and Nurney gets on the break here, looking to link up inside there with Katie Donoghue. Donoghue offloading the ball here now to Aaron Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick giving it off. The referee says there was foul coming in there from the Tyrone team, and you'd have to say, Aideen, that was a patient enough build up there from Laois. Absolutely patient, and Tyrone, as you said, there was a red and white wall waiting for them no matter what they tried there. The only thing is, if they can get a breakthrough at all, there's nobody really in there in front of the goalie in there, so if they at least can get a breakthrough in there at all, they'll be in for a goal, no problem. Mo Nurney, really, that came off the outside of the left foot a little bit, probably took the eye just as she went to strike, and that's a second wide for Laois down at the what I suppose we'd refer to here a little bit as the Newtown end of the ground off to the left hand side. As the ball breaks in the middle of the field there, and it looks like it was held on to there by Maeve Mallon. Mallon getting a good shout inside and looking to offload. Now is Tyrone come attacking out the field, and inside is Canavan because there was a slip in there. Canavan gets out, she looks to pop the pass. Tyrone are still in numbers here, going to have a shot at the post, up and over the bar, and that has gone over. And I think Tyrone might have made a late change on the team there. I think that was a number 30 on the jersey there. And I just have to refer back to my notes from last week. I think they did have 30 players. There was only 29 listed this week, but there's 30 out there. We'll attempt to find out who that player might be, unless it is one that is listed in our programme that just changed the jersey. But it's he should come forward now. Williams getting the ball off. As Tyrone lead then by the 2 points to no score. Looking to get moving away. Galvin has a shout from Lauren Nurney, full of running there. Looking to pass the ball on there now. It's Andrea Moore and Laois have had 3 attacks. Nothing has come of it. Could something come of this? Ball is dropped in. It's gone out to the right and wide, and the radar is just a little bit off at the moment, Aideen.
Just a little bit off with the last minute kicks, but it's the work in the ball up from midfield is going really well. Ava Galvin there in midfield. She's onto some great ball. She's working it up. It's just the finishing now that's the problem at the minute.
Ball over on the far side. Anthony Gallagher waiting to see what decision she makes. Linesman over on the far side. Not sure, judging the Laois player is in a bit of trouble though. It looks like Antoinette going to have a word with her there. The Tyrone player is down receiving attention. Looks like it's the number 7, if I can see right, Maeve Corrigan. Just had a quick chat there. And interesting to know what it looks like. Tyrone are in hold of the ball there, so waiting to see if everything's okay with Maeve Corrigan. Might have been just a bit of a knock around the facial area. Ball played inside now. And a bit of a loose one from Tyrone, but they managed to hold on to it. Coming out with that ball strong there is cornerback Joanne Barrett. Not sure about the way she got that ball away, but anyway, it's allowed. And also in the team here for Tyrone is number 21, Jane Lyons. So 2 late changes on the Tyrone team that we weren't made aware of. But anyway, we'll get on with it and try and work it out at half time. If you bear with me, I know 21 anyway is going by the programme. Should be Jane Lyons. And Laois looking to come out with it. Have been fouled, and it's going to be in the hands here now of Ellen Healy. Laois into the teeth of that breeze, and we've been down on pitch side, 18. It's significant enough. It is.
It looks like it wouldn't be with the sunshine and everything today, but it is. Even if you look at the flags here in front of us, it does make a difference. But you know, hopefully it won't make too much of a difference once Laois get their first score up on the board and settle a little bit.
On a good attack there by Niamh Hughes. The Rua player got 1-2 in the opening game against Roscommon when they beat the Rossies. And on the charge here now, good strong run there by A.V. McHugh, the captain of this team, getting the ball inside. All of a sudden Laois are being opened up. That looks like it's inside, the ball down. It'll be interesting to see what Antoinette Gallagher is going to give. I'd be thinking a penalty possibly. Has she seen the free outside? She's gone in to her umpires. Did she think maybe that the foul might have been committed outside and then maybe come inside? It'll be interesting to see. And this could be, if Laois, when he get a free in this, it'll be lucky, I think. Because to me that looked like a penalty from where I'm standing, and it is a penalty for Tyrone, and it was the midfield partnership there, you'd have to say, worked it very well, A.V. McHugh and Imogen Girvin. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a deserved penalty, to be fair. Laois, if they had gotten away with free there, it would have been almost a miracle, but this will be, if they get this now, this will be a massive lift for Tyrone going forward. So they're done getting a bit of a ticking there, or talking to with the referee, and looking at Anna Healy. We don't want to be losing Anna Healy, and she's down at the moment being tended to by the physio, and it looks like he's dealing with her hamstring there at the moment. And this early doors, you don't want to be losing anyone. Yeah, this early on in the game, you'd be hoping it's just something very slight that won't carry forward too much more. She'll definitely know all about it anyway, Anna being a qualified physiotherapist, but we're waiting on the Tyrone number 8, Emma Jane Girvin, to get to her feet, because she's inside. Maria Canavan has the ball in hand, and this is big task now for young Naomi Luttrell. St. Conleth's player bouncing on the line now at the moment, trying to put off Canifin any way she can, but Maria, well, of course, has many a campaign behind her, and a talented footballer in her own right.
Absolutely, she has plenty of experience behind her here. I'm sure she'll be cool on the nerves.
So here we go then into the dressing room end here of Cretty Yard. Shot from Canifin. Oh, very unlucky young Luttrell there as that ball went in. But it is in the back of the net, and Tyrone have a 5-point lead now. A
5-point lead, which is a lot now considering the 3 points that Laois are after missing so far, so it will make a massive difference. They're going to feel those 3 points that they have kicked wide, but strong start for Tyrone. They'll be absolutely delighted with that, especially sneaking in that goal. I know Naomi Luttrell nearly had it, but it snuck in just underneath her, unfortunately for Naomi.
Unfortunately for her, alright, but Laois have won the free as they come out from there with Ellen Healy looking to set fire to Rachel Williams over on the far side. Williams, a strong runner, giving the offload, looking to get this ball moving quick, and Laois have full and forward movement. The problem has been maybe the shot selection up to now, and here's one lady to be looking to pop a pass, and the ball maybe would be Mo Nerney. Ball breaks off the Tyrone player, might work out for Laois, trying to get in there. Grania Moran also in there trying to win it. There is Laura Marie Marr. Marr pops the pass. Nerney's on the return. Has she got the first score for Laois? No, it's been whipped away again by that breeze, or maybe by the foot of direction, you don't know, but it's another wide for Laois. But the referee, she's calling a halt for play at the minute, waiting to see what's going on here. Don't know whether she's looking for, I don't know what Antoinette reckons there was a oh, that's what it is. Maybe it's a 45. In fact, she was right there. Umpire, I suppose, was a bit further away from it, and she believes the Tyrone player got a touch on it, and it's out for a 45 over. Will be right in line with the ball stop behind us, the post there. That's roughly where it is, down to our left hand side.
Laois are really going to want to capitalise on this one now, because they could have been 4 points down there if that was a wide rather than a 45, so they're going to want to capitalise as best they can, because they'll have a big hill to climb if they don't. Aaron
decided to go backwards with it though. She went back 20 yards there to give it to Ellen Healy, and Laois probably have just struggled now to get beyond the 45 from where they've kicked it. So 30 seconds are gone, and they still haven't advanced too far since they had that 45, and they're looking to recycle it here. Nerney giving a nice little pass inside. Marr! That's a good ball. That could have dipped though. It was dipping, I thought, 18, and could have caused a few problems in the goal there.
Yeah, it looked as if it was. I wasn't sure until I saw the umpire with the flag there. It looked as if it could have dropped in just over her head, but a point is better than absolutely nothing. They're up on the scoreboard now, so maybe from here they might kick on, might settle the nerves a little bit more.
Yeah, might settle the nerves, and the kick out there works. Laois putting the pressure on there again. Ellen Healy looking to get this ball over, but it's been turned over again by Tyrone, and that was probably a factor against Westmeath, the turnovers. But Laois are on the scoreboard at least with Marr's point there, 1-2 to a point. And here's the opportunity now for Tyrone to build from the back. Good tackle coming in there as Grania Rafferty looking to get the ball forward there to number 21 that's in the game from the start. That was Jane Lyons, the Borough player, looking to play it across the goals, but Laois are there, and it's worked out by Ellen Healy. Ellen, I have to say, a very good positional sense. That's what you want from your centre back, in the right place there to cut that ball out and move it forward.
Absolutely, Ellen's a very reliable player. She'd spot places that you don't even realise need to be covered until you turn around and realise Ellen's there. So that's kind of the true Ellen Healy fashion, but very reliable in there, very strong.
Good cut out by the Tyrone defence over on the far side, and again it's a strong run. I've been very impressed by Niamh Hughes in the opening stages here, looking to come inside, and she does it very, very well. Across it goes to the lady that won the penalty, Emma Jane Gervin, looking to get this ball now in hand to the girl that scored it. That was kind of a lovely ball inside. It might work out, but it wins the race to the end line, and Tyrone, well, you know, they don't feel under any pressure on occasion, and they're not afraid to play those nice little dinky ball on occasion, are they?
Yeah, they don't look like they're in any way carrying any sort of nerves or under any sort of pressure or anything. They're just playing, and they look like they have every bit of confidence. They're trying out different things, whether they work or not. They're kind of keeping the heads up anyway and saying, we'll go again and we'll try something different this time. They're great to watch here today.
Tyrone have turned over that kick out from Laois as the St. Conleth's players linked up there, and it's been won back though. And again, it's Laois centre back Ellen Healy giving it off now to her namesake Anna, and then she pops it to Laura Nerney. Nerney hearing a shout over here from Grania Moran, looking to play that ball forward. Of course, club mates as this ball gets inside. Young Donoghue trying to get her hands on it. Katie Donoghue from the Timahoe club, not too far away from us here as the crow flies, I suppose, wins the free, and it's going to be a chance taken now by Ava Galvin. Pops the ball into the corner, looking for Nerney. Nerney getting an awful lot of attention from Tyrone players. They actually ran into one another, and one of them is down now at the moment and is holding her head. No malice on anything wrong on what Mo Nerney did there. There was 3 players going for a ball. She just happened to get out in front of the 2 of them, and the 2 Tyrone players ran into one another. So she'd been tended to there at the moment. Again, you would feel though, Aideen, you know, going forward, they've got to be getting, from a Laois point of view, got to be getting Nerney on the ball, and maybe then support play from some of the other players that are in there at the moment, like Laura Marie Marr and Grania Moran, who've been quite busy in there.
They have been. In the first, I would say, the first 10 minutes, there was great movement in the forwards. It seems to slow down a small bit now, and there's not as many players showing as there was. Now, having said that, you can't take away from the Tyrone defence either. It's a strong defence that they have here. But like that, 2 players going for the one ball, small things like that would make a difference if they were even to call a ball. Something small will make a difference at this point.
So just game was called to a halt, as I said, because of the injury to the Tyrone player, and complete accidental as players are going for the ball there, but Tyrone are the ones that lead on the scoreboard then with just over a quarter of an hour gone, nearly 16 minutes gone here in Crediyard. It's the Little Ladies National Football League Division 2 Round 3 encounter. Of course, Laois, the All-Ireland Intermediate Champions of 2022, up against the Intermediate Champions of 2018. 2 sides, of course, that know each other from last year's campaign. Laois winning out. It was a bit of a goal fest in that All-Ireland quarter-final, 3-14 to 3-6. And Laois, of course, went on to win that All-Ireland title. But, well, Tyrone here, probably a little bit different from last year under Sean O'Kane. Very experienced man. As Laois maybe overcomplicated there a little bit, but they've won it back anyway with Laura Marie Marr, the goals, or the point score for Laois that wins it, looking to get out around the attentions there of Aveen McHugh. Pops the pass to Annie Healy. Healy being urged by John Murphy here on the stand side, the Mayor Ferner for Laois, to use it, and she won her free anyway, and she gives it back to Amy Kelly. Kelly looking to step inside the attentions of her direct marker there, giving it to Nerney. Nerney looking to skip on. It's Laura Nerney, of course. Her first cousin Mo is in the forwards as she looks to get forward. Advantage being played. Referee said it's not enough for Laois to continue playing, so she's going to call it back, and it'll probably be Mo Nerney that's going to step over this one. Now, she was in a similar position about 5-6 minutes ago. It didn't go well, and she's decided to go and work something else and a bit tighter in. She worked it well there with Laura Marie Marr. Marr looking to step in, left footed. It got a bit of a block on it, and Tyrone just got to be careful and work it out over onto the far side. Again though, Aideen, a chance gone for Laois. Another chance gone for Laois. They are working it in really well. They're just not capitalising. They're not finishing. I don't know what it is. Maybe if they get another point or 2 up on the board, maybe they'll feel a bit more secure and kick on. But at the minute now, they just need to. There's super work going from Ava Galvin in midfield. She's running in around the forwards, in and out around everybody at the moment. So if they can just get that bit more movement going that they had at the very beginning of the game, and open up the Tyrone defence a bit more, it could bring massive opportunities. You have to credit though Tyrone, they're using the elements because they do have the wind behind them, and they get it up here towards Canavan. Canavan, nice ball inside though, because she got the direction. That's a lovely ball. It's been one shot coming in, Luttrell. Oh, it somehow got into the back of the net. I thought she had hold of it, and it just that near post, but that was quick fire. Laois hanging around to the ball. They had possession for a couple of minutes. Tyrone get 3 kicks down the field, the ball's in the back of the net. And that's the difference at the minute. Tyrone are much quicker and much snappier on their decision making and getting the ball up the field, whereas Laois are kind of running around kind of in circles and slowly building it, whereas Tyrone, as you said, 3 kicks and it was in the back of the net. So that is the difference, and that is what is making the difference for Tyrone. It's that long ball out of defence by centre back. You'd have to credit her. Emer Quinn found the ball over here on this side, Jane Lyons, and then eventually worked into Canavan. Canavan, lovely ball inside. It was to Grania Rafferty, who was in behind the defence, took a shot at Naomi Luttrell's near post, and fortunately she just couldn't keep it out. Laois conceded a lot of goals in the first half against Westmeath. They have conceded 2 here already today as the ball has worked down the field now, trying to get Grania Moran on the move. Has a shot over the bar. That's the response, I suppose, in a way. Absolutely lovely left boot from Grania Moran. She's no stranger to a good score off her left boot, so she's a strong girl to have
if she gets on the right ball, something like that, that'll make a difference now. And even for Grania herself, having that point now, that'll settle her on a personal level, let alone the team in general.
So Tyrone win their own kick out there, but Laois looking to disrupt it, and Laois are the ones that have won the free. A bit harsh there, I thought, on the Tyrone player, but Anthony Galler happy that she's called the foul against Tyrone's number 5, Slane McCarroll. And she's allows Anna Healy then to take this free. So the goal, one from a penalty and one from that shot there that just went in, as Anna Healy out to take the free. Anthony Galler asking her to get on with it. She goes backwards with it again and gives it to Rachel Williams. Williams over to the far side now. Laois looking to work it in. And it was number 17, Sinead Farley, that was involved in that. Coming up to help out Amy Kelly, giving the ball inside now to Mo Nerney. Nerney giving off Donoghue. Donoghue with the shot! That's just caught the side netting there. And you saw what was on her mind.
Yeah, that was Katie Donoghue there, number 21, and she was going straight for goal the minute she got that. But she was just unlucky with the side net there. If she had got that, God knows what, it could have made a massive difference to the game. We could have had a different game, but that's the way it goes. It
wasn't an easy chance, but it's about 1-4 now that Laois have left behind them.
Yeah, and you'll see that. You could say you can see it at the end of the game if they were to lose out, but like even now you can see the difference. And the more scores Tyrone are getting, the more confidence that they're bringing in themselves, and the quicker they're getting with their passes and their decision making. So Laois really need to capitalise much better on their chances at this point.
Hughes that started to move, looking to step inside. She might fancy a right-footed shot. Hughes is still going. This will be a phenomenal score. She puts it over the bar. And umpire goes for the flag. That is a cracking score. Niamh Hughes making all that of her own practically from inside the 45.
Absolutely, and a response straight away from Tyrone, whereas with Laois it's taken a lot longer to get a response, and they're making the opportunities for themselves, they're not taking them, whereas Tyrone are just simply taking the chances that they're making them for themselves.
Laois looking to come out there now from the back. Just looking at Anna Healy. Looks like she's carrying a little bit of a knock at the moment. Just have to keep an eye on that, but she gets it there to Ellen Healy. And I'm sure will know herself, as we said, where the body is as the ball is moved here now with Aaron Fitzpatrick. Loses the ball and probably went down a bit of a dark alley there with no support. And Tyrone have turned it over. And as we said, are using the elements, the long kicks, 40, 50 yards, they're not afraid to take them. As the ball is played to one goal scorer, was trying to find the other. Grania Rafferty played it inside, was looking for maybe the movement of Canavan. And Laois looking to build out with it here now. Very tight, but they've worked it out between Amy Kelly and Anna Healy. And showing up now is Laura Nerney. Nerney looking to getting a bit of a run here, and she opens up the legs and kicks on out. It overcooks it though a little bit now under a bit of pressure. It's robbed there by McHugh. McHugh giving it to Canavan. Long footed ball inside now again. Got to be careful here. Tyrone have a 1-on-1 situation, but just momentum there. So player wearing number 30 fall to the ground. Unfortunately we can't identify her because she wasn't listed in our programme.
Yeah, Tyrone have 29 players listed in the programme, so we'll have to figure that one out.
So apologies to anyone listening from Tyrone. But we will endeavour to sort that out at half time. As Laois come on the attack now. Mo Nerney looking to skip inside. Here's a shot with the ball. Turning the pass here. Spinning around maybe. Going to have a shot off there is Aaron Fitzpatrick. Ball dropping in. Keeper's got to be careful. And Caitlin Donnelly did very, very well there, you'd have to say. Makes it out 20 yards and clears the scenario. As Grania Moran wins that ball back, and she's playing very, very well, Aideen. Yeah, Mo Nerney gets on the ball,
absolutely.
Hops, looking to spin the ball inside. Wasn't really expecting it though, was young Donoghue, but somehow she wins it back, Katie Donoghue. Good play from her. Ball is played inside now. Interchange with Moran and Donoghue. Now it's going to be Nerney. Nerney with the shot off the left foot. It's up and over the bar. And you'd have to say the tenacity of Katie Donoghue kept that score alive.
Absolutely, she's making a huge difference here today, and credit to Grania Moran as well. She's doing Trojan work out there. Credit to the likes of Katie and Grania there playing right beside each other and in front or behind each other. They're working really well together. They're working very well together, and they're doing huge work and putting everything they have into this.
So 24 minutes gone. The goals are the difference. The penalty from Maria Canavan, and that lady just there, Grania Rafferty, giving it on to the number 8, Emma Jane Gervin. Gervin, who was involved in winning that penalty. Playing the ball forward now is Rafferty, looking to play it inside. Laois now a little bit under pressure back there, but they're doing well, falling to the ground there. She tried to hold on to position. Claudia Dunn gives it to Luttrell. Luttrell though tried to play it over the top of the head, and it's the white jersey of Luttrell up against the white jerseys of Tyrone. Looking to keep going on it. Here's Canavan stepping around the house a little bit. Plays the ball back. Williams, oh, there's a touch on it there. Shot comes in and up and over the bar. Laois defence didn't deal with that well, and it's Niamh Hughes in for her second.
Yeah, I think at the minute, Laois, there's a bit of panic going on. I don't think their decision making is as good as it can be. I think when they get the ball, they're kind of panicking as to what to do with it. But then again, that's credit to Tyrone and how they're stepping up and dealing with everything here.
Ball has worked out well though between Naomi Luttrell, Amy Kelly and Laura Nerney, and Laois have it over on the far side of the play. They're 2-4 to 3 points down. Not insurmountable as anyone would know with the conditions and everything like that. Ball is played inside by Williams. Was expecting a run there out of young Donoghue, or either to get across there was Erin Fitzpatrick, but ball has been turned over by Tyrone again. Long kick into the middle. There's an awful lot of space there for Aideen for Tyrone to exploit, but that's a good block there by Ellen Healy, and she wins it back. Turnover for Laois now as they look to charge forward, have a few extra numbers up forward, looking to step away there, looking to be definitely held up was the number 11 Laura Marie Marr loses the ball, going to be a free in, and I should be thinking referee would be giving a stern talking to the Tyrone player there for that pull of the jersey. Allows the free to be taken quickly. Interchange of passes now by Laois as they look to drive on between Laura Marie Marr and Ava Galvin. Ball is blocked down though. Looking to get there and win it back is Tyrone, and they do it quite well, and they're going to be able to build out from the back over there. It looks like it's their number 2 Rebecca Barker. Ball is played into the middle. Driving out with it now. There's the Tyrone girls who have done very, very well defensively, I have to say. Although some of the Laois shot options haven't been the best, as they work it across the back line here at the moment and out to the top of the D. And I have to say, Aideen, impressed by the Tyrone defence. They're confident on the ball.
Absolutely, they're confident. Every time a Laois player goes down to kick a ball over the bar or to pass it off, they're down on their boot, they're blocking down, they're putting the pressure on straight away. They're not giving Laois an inch.
Slane McCarroll worked that ball out and she gives it to Niamh Hughes, the standout player for Tyrone in the last couple of minutes, as Aoibhinn McHugh plays a long ball in now, and Canavan is in there sniffing around. Luttrell is aware to it. Out she comes and wins that ball well. Gives it to Anna Healy. Healy stepping out at the top of the D. Shrugs off the attentions of the Tyrone player, giving it to her centre back, and then Rachel Williams. Williams to the right hand side now to Ava Galvin. Galvin looking around, toe to hand on the right. They again looking to step inside. We'll fancy if she gets in, go on a bit of a diagonal run. She's been urged to go on, but the referee says she overplayed the ball. Thought it was a bit tight all right, and Tyrone have turned it over. Ball played long now again. Tyrone looking to come strong with it. Right footed ball played across the field now. Looking to get on it here is the goal scorer from a couple of minutes ago, Grania Rafferty. Shot with the right side, but it's going to be tailing to the right, and I think that could be Tyrone's first wide of the game.
The long ball in for Tyrone is working for them like a charm. I don't think Laois have really tried the long. I don't think it would work at the minute, but when you see Tyrone there, as you said, it's taken 2-3 kicks to get them a score, working it up from the kick out, so that's the difference.
That is a hell of a difference alright here, as Tyrone lead 2-4 to 3, and you know, you'd have to say the 2 goals, the penalty, you know, it was a quick fire move, long balls moved in, they got the penalty out of it, and then the goal ultimately, you know, it was a fine. It wasn't a thing of beauty, but the move beforehand was very, very well orchestrated.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Tyrone are doing here at the minute. They're orchestrating and they're taking every chance that they get. They're a lot more clever, a bit quicker with their decision making, and I think that's making all the difference. All those little pieces fitting together just and to get them ahead at the minute. But I think Laois have a little bit of work to do at half time. They'll need to talk into their as I was saying earlier, their turnover rate isn't as bad as the last game, but it still needs improvement. That
it does. And Nick Gallagher now went in to speak to her umpire just to see was there any scenario where she maybe had to talk to someone, because Ellen Healy was on the ground receiving attention, but she's still walking around waiting on maybe everyone to get off the field that was on it, as regards mentors and medical people, as the ball is played out there towards Lauren Nerney, but it's boxed away from her by Aoibhinn McHugh. Impressive midfield player, I have to say. Aoibhinn. Maria Canavan fancies the left foot, plays it across field now, looking for the bit of a run here out of Niamh Hughes. Hughes popping the ball inside, but it's well read there by Anna Healy. She gets a round of applause here from the crowd around us, and Laois looking to break now. Ball is with Ava Galvin, looking at Grania Moore over on this side, but she elects to give it to Nerney. Laura Nerney looking to step inside, has her cousin Mo outside, but she elects to give it to Ava Galvin. Galvin looking to continue on a bit of a run here now. Space is opening up from her, looking to give it to young Grania Moore. Moore in the Port Laois looking to spin around now into her right hand side, giving it back to Nerney. Nerney toe tap, looking around, looking to give it to number 12. That is Aaron Fitzpatrick stepping around the house a little bit over on the far side. She gets a shout, but it overcooked it there, and it's the momentum now as Andrea Moore tries to race to that sideline to keep the ball in. She does, but it's killed the momentum of the attack now. Laois are 2-4-3 down, coming up on half time. Looking to play the ball inside. It's Katie Donoghue now spinning around there along with Aaron Fitzpatrick. Movement off the ball. Strong running coming again here from Laois, and Nerney getting the shout there and giving it. Laura still going, fires it with her left foot towards that bottom corner. Referee is calling it back for the foul, and well, maybe Laura knew that was coming. She just had a shot off anyway, and it's going to be a free, and that you'd imagine Mo Nerney will tap over the bar to make it a 6-point game.
Yeah, you'd certainly hope so, especially coming up to half time. Laois really need a score now at this point. I think, like you said, Laura knew that was going to be called back, so she just tapped it off her foot, but we'll wait and see. And they're
off the upright, it comes back out. The ball might work out here still. Nerney going to have a shot blocked down by the Tyrone defender, and it's a 45, says the referee. She's happy to call it a 45. The cornerback Rebecca Barker for Tyrone is arguing with it, but the referee was as close, I think, nearly as Rebecca was, and she's the one that called it as a 45 for Laois. Again, though, you know, maybe commentators cursed that I expected Mo to tap it over the bar, but I really thought that should have been over 18.
Yeah, and commentators' curses, definitely. It's 100% a real thing because it's happened time and time again, but like that, you just can't be sure. You know, there's days where you'd be switched on and there's days that just aren't going your way, and at the minute today is not going Laois's way with their kicks and their opportunities.
Mo has a shot off of the post, but that's tail out to the left and wide. She is trying, there's no question out there. The top scorer, of course, in last year's intermediate championship. But it's another wide for Laois, and we're now into whatever time that referee Angela Gallagher, I might have said Antoinette, apologies, Angela Gallagher is going to play. So AV McHugh winning this ball now into the middle of the field it goes, and picking it up Maeve Corrigan, and again strong running from Tyrone's number 6 Emer Quinn, giving it to the number 11, Grania Rafferty. Rafferty looking to play it inside. Canavan gets away from the attention of Anna Healy. She's also getting away from the attentions of the other cornerback, Amy Kelly. She hits the crossbar, it's over the bar. Another good move by Tyrone. Another
good move, and I think Anna Healy was a bit unlucky there. She got a hand to it, but it almost made it easier then for Tyrone to attack the ball. But another chance that they had created and they took.
2-5 to 3 points then. Short kick out taken, and Laois looking to build out with it here now. Rachel Williams getting it and giving it to Ellen Healy. Has support there if she wants from Sinead Farley from St. Joseph's Club. Holds up the run a little bit and gives it out to Galvin. Ava Galvin coming across the field here now, looking for a strong run, but now needs support. Coming off her shoulder, Grania Moore now, bearing down on the goal. Decides to go out left and probably should have kept going on her right hand side. Goes to win the return ball. Gets it there from Young Donoghue. Looking to step inside Grania. Grania, here's a shout here now from Laura Nerney. Nerney outside the left foot, plays it across the field here. Looking to find Laura Marie Marr. Marr on the ball. Here's a shout from Mo Nerney. Nerney might give it to Williams. Holds it up though. Juggles the way back. Still on the top of the D. Gives it to Laura. Laura goes in the interchange of passes. Laura Nerney with the shot. Off the upright again. Ball falls to Ava Galvin. What a goal. Galvin was just sitting in the pocket. And Donnie Brennan's speech at half time might just have changed, Aideen.
Absolutely, and I have to say I don't think there's a more deserving player out there at the moment than Ava Galvin to have gotten that goal, because she's been putting in massive work the whole half. Again, another unlucky upright, but she was there and she reacted really, really well, and in the back of the net.
In the back of the net, cracking goal. Probably the best of the three, if the Tyrone fans watching in don't mind me saying. But here come Tyrone straight away now. Got to be alert to this now and make it across as Amy Kelly. Kelly minding the house there. And ball is out over the line. And Angela Gallagher's coming in now with two players are down, holding their lower leg. It's going to be a free in she's given. But if I'm a cornerback, I'm not condoning foul play, but there probably wasn't a whole lot of other options that you could have had there.
No, I think she did what she, you know, what her instinct was telling her to do there, just go for the ball. They were a bit unlucky with the clash.
Yeah, well, you'll be hoping both of them don't come out with any injury, but they were holding the lower leg there, both of them. And Angela Gallagher going to have, she just has a quick word with Amy Kelly. But I think everyone is okay, they're up and moving, and you know, Two forces coming together there. That ball went over the line, but he's going to be a free, and it's probably a good response here now from Tyrone after that goal, but a cracking goal from Ava Galvin. And we get to see it again at half-time as Maria Canavan steps up and puts this, looks like the umpire is waving at that. It's up and over the bar.
Tyrone will be happy to have some sort of a response now before half-time. Are we in our 5th minute now? So
continuing to play on there with Angela. There's a good running there by Rachel Williams again. Here's Ava Galvin, 18's standout player for Laois in this first half. Cracking goal that she got moments ago, and she's in here again. If someone would let her loose, Galvin's still going, head down, pops the pass, somehow Laois are in 1-on-1, shot! What a move from Laois! All the way down the field. Again, you'd have to credit Ava Galvin. I don't know how she got the pass off there to run it for Aaron Fitzpatrick, but what a cracking goal, and Laois have got 2 of the best.
Absolutely cracking goal. And again, Ava Galvin orchestrated the goal. Absolutely unbelievable finish from Aaron Fitzpatrick there. And
after taking some of the air out of the Tyrone balloon, because here comes Dunnow now. Looking to skip inside again. Looking to go on her left. Has been held up. Giving it to Nerney. It's not often you'd see a half to Mo. Nerney hasn't scored. But Laois are back in this game at 2-6 to 2-3. That's the last goal scored there. Aaron Fitzpatrick going to have a shot, but it's off to the right and wide. And you have to say, maybe now they should be keeping them a little bit closer to goal, having those shots, because that's where it's making a count. Referee calls half time. What an ending to the game. Laois have looked like going in at half time that they were going to have a little bit of a flea in the ear, I'd say, from Donny Brennan, but things all of a sudden changed with those goals, and now they have the elements with them in the second half. 18. Yeah,
those last 2-3 plays worked absolutely fantastically for them. We're back to a 3-point game here now for half time. Laois can come out and just start fresh now in the second half. I think half-time might have come at a bad time for them, because they were just starting to build momentum there, so you'd hope that maybe they can get that back up and going after, and maybe, hopefully half-time hasn't cut that short for them. Then again, Tyrone are going to come out. They'll be happy that half-time has come at this stage, just to, call a halt to everything and let them refresh and regroup now for the second half.
But have Laois in the last couple of minutes learned that if they get inside the Tyrone half back line, that there's probably a little bit of hate to be made once they get in there?
Absolutely, and I think what they did there is they kind of figured out how to break down the defence a little bit better. So I think they figured that out about 3 plays ago, and then the following 2, then that was when they really sunk the 2 goals into the net. And absolutely fantastic goal here from
just coming back off the upright, and then Ava Galvin coming out right footed shot. Oh my God, she'd pick it out.
A bullet into the back of the net, and it was that quick reaction and her position right there that was absolutely perfect. And we saw Tyrone do that themselves as a reaction of Tyrone's, was it their first goal, I think, or could have been their second goal. It was quite similar to that. It was the reaction that made the difference, and had Ava Galvin not reacted as well, we mightn't have gotten that goal.
But Aaron Fitzpatrick, you'd have to say, the pass, if we can get Dave maybe to pull that back up again. Good interplay between the two. Ava, I don't know how she got the ball off, but she did. But you'd have to say, Aaron, there was about 3 different touches she got, but she physically was able to force her way through and score that goal. I'm just watching here again. She comes on a crash ball through 3 Tyrone defenders and back of the net again. And
she's quite far out as well, where she kicked the ball. But that's Aaron. She's crafty, she's strong, she'll get through. If she gets the right ball in, she can break through 2-3 defenders, and it's at her ease as well when she gets a ball off like that. And it was a super ball from Ava Galvin. I have to say, I think Ava has stood out now to me as Laois's player for sure. They're Laois's strongest player in this half.
Yeah, well, there wasn't a whole lot Caitlin Donnelly could do in the Tyrone goal. Just to have a word with Tyrone, because I suppose we've talked about Laois now 18 because of the last couple of minutes that they've had. But, Tyrone have come here defensively, have played quite well, considering that they've made a couple of changes from their last outing. But, again, some of the I suppose experienced players on their team, the likes of Gervin, McHugh, Canavan, Rafferty, they're the ones calling the shots, and some of their long ball play has been exceptional in that first half.
Absolutely. Gráinne Rafferty in particular is fantastic there in centre forward, and I think the long ball was what was killing Laois a lot in that first half, and Tyrone figured that out very soon, and they kept going and going and going at it, and they got that lead. Whatever about now, we still have 3 points in it. It's still, it's still work to do for Laois, but I think Tyrone, they won't be too happy with the last few minutes of that half, but I think they'll still be happy to have a lead going forward, and they're going to come out prepared for this second half now, knowing that Laois will have that bit of momentum behind them. But the likes of Caravan, Rafferty, and actually even McHugh as well in midfield are really fantastic. They're standing out a lot now for Tyrone.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that second half goes. So hopefully you've enjoyed the action. It is the Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 2 Round 3 encounter. It looked like Laois were going to be going in at half time with the tail between the legs a little bit and having an awful lot of work to do. Now it's not so bad. The mountain has turned into a molehill, if you want to call it that. And Laois, with the wind behind them and with the sun on their backs as well, attacking the dressing room end at the second half, will probably have some of the advantage. But it's still Tyrone on the scoreboard. That's where it counts, that are in front. And at half time, it is the girls from Tyrone that lead by 2-6 to Laois's 2-3. Rejoin us shortly.
Invincible.
And you're welcome back here to Credit Yard. Tyrone back out on the field, just waiting on Laois. Laois coming through the gates now. 2-6 to 2-3 at half time. To let you know that we've identified at number 30, it's Chloe McCaffrey. So if any of the McCaffreys are listening, apologies about that. And she scored that point after 5 minutes. And they're making one change so at half time. It looks like number 19, Caitlin Campbell, is in for Joanne Barrett. So we're told about that there at half time, and I do see the number 19 jersey out there, so that should be fine. And number 21 was also on from the start, that being Jane Lyons. So she's there now, lining out at wing back over on the far side. Aideen is just busy looking at the Laois players. I don't see anything in the defence at the moment anyway. And I just see a few position switches though, obviously just for the throw-in. It looks like Grania Moore and Eva Galvin going to be in the middle. They won the throw-in at the start of the first half and they nearly got a score of it. But Laois, a fine bounce there towards the end to get the goals. And again, Laois win the throw-in. And move it quickly here now. So into the second half, Anna Healy giving it off to Eva Galvin. Got that cracking goal and set up the other one. Here's the other goal scorer, Aaron, giving it inside. Mar, back across the square, Nerney. And there's the start. If you were Donny Brennan Askin coming out of the dressing room, if you're Mo Nerney, 18, you don't go too long without scoring. Absolutely not. No, it was bound to happen. And what a way to start the second half for Laois. We're back to a draw game here now. So it's literally all square. We're starting fresh. And what a dream start for Laois to come out in the second half. A dream start. Their last 3 scores have been goals. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's up until the last 10 minutes of the first half, we thought they'd have a massive mountain to climb here in the second half. And they've completely proven us wrong. I just think this lady has really grown into the game. Aaron Fitzpatrick has really dictated a lot of things in the last few minutes too, hasn't she? She has. The last quarter of the first half, she was really starting to show up, and now, as you can see, she's just adding to it now. She's coming into her own, she's getting comfortable. So should be, hopefully will be an entertaining second half from her. So Eva Galvin, Aaron Fitzpatrick linking up to set up Nerney, who fisted the ball to the back of the net. Also involved in it was Laura Marie Marr. It was a lovely ball across the square with the hand pass and tapped in, and then Laois turned over the kick out from Caitlin Donnelly, and they go from being 3 points down at half time to within 60 seconds to be a point up here. And a great start for Laois. Not exactly what Sean O'Kane would have wanted out of his Tyrone team, who played very, very well, you would have to say, all the way to the half-hour mark. It was just they were found wanting defensively. Then, you know, in 18 we were crediting defensively, but Laois, as you said, just seemed to find something to unlock them, and now they've unlocked them a lot there in the last while. Yeah, and it was the majority of the first half that the Tyrone defence was, you know, it was nearly unbreakable. Like, Laois were finding it tough to, they were really putting them off. They couldn't get their scores. They just happened to find cracks, and they, unfortunately for Tyrone, it was 2 goals that came from those little cracks being found. But you can't take the credit away from their performance. As you said, in the first half hour, it was mostly, there was 5 to 6 minutes of injury time in the first half, and it was those minutes of injury time that did the damage to Tyrone. Yeah, no, it has. But here come again Gervin looking to get forward on this ball now. Has McHugh if she wants, but she's still going. That's a good strong run from Niamh Hughes. Hughes looking offload her, but Laois got an intercept, but Hughes wins it back. Probably one of Tyrone's standout players. And then the referee Angela Gallagher says that Tyrone overplayed the ball. It's out here towards Eva Galvin. Really impressed with her the whole game. Giving it to Aaron Fitzpatrick. Lovely ball to Nerney. All of a sudden, well, Laois were full of running in the first half, but seemed to have just that little bit of extra pep in the step now. Nerney trying to get away from Maeve Corrigan, and she overplays the ball, and it's going to be a chance for Tyrone to get back down the field with it. Yeah, Laois are doing a lot of running there. They seem to be kind of opening up the Tyrone defence quite a lot. There was a lot of space there for them to work with. Had that not been called for overplay, I think they could have gone in quite far into the goal and could have done another bit of damage. But it's all about how Tyrone respond now in the next coming minutes. Yeah, dangerous enough ball. Got to be careful here with it now. And Laois do the needful, and Healy gives it off to her namesake. And the Tyrone player though is down injured, and the referee has called a halt to the play. You know, not willing to call it in any way 18 because it's still early doors of the second half, but it just looks like Laois have probably stepped up a little bit. You know, the work rate has gone up at least 10%.
Yeah, I think things are kind of starting to come together for them. All the elements that they were missing in the opening 20-25 minutes of the first half just seem to kind of be working for them now. They figured it out and they're starting to click that bit more. I think that might be making a big difference, and it's also worth noting for this coming half that Laois have the wind with them as well, which will make a bit of a difference as well. So Tyrone will have the battle that Laois had on their hands in the first half, playing against the wind. But as you said, it's not something that you can call. If we were to try call it 20 minutes ago, we would have said that this would be, you know, an easy enough win for Tyrone, and now here we are. So you really can't call, and they're two strong teams. They're quite well matched as well, so you couldn't call it. We'll just have to play it by ear and just follow as they go.
Yeah, see how it goes, all right, because well, you never know what this league can throw up. Latest score in the Cavan Westmeath match has Cavan in front by 2-3 to 1-3, and Cavan bottom of the table, and Westmeath haven't scored 7 goals against Laois last week. Just goes to show you all can change. We know that Tipperary are leading Roscommon, but that was close the last time we saw the score, and Armagh have defeated Monaghan by 113 to 1-3. Armagh are the next team for Tyrone, and they're at home to Armagh the next day out, whereas Laois, they are away to Tipperary. Of course, Tipperary having all their games at home this year because they travelled a good part of last year. As the ball is played in here by Mo Nerney, linking up well again, and the Laois forwards, when they get clicking, have to say they're impressive. As here's Nerney getting the return pass from Marr, has shot off from Mo Nerney over the bar, and Mo's in a bit of a groove here now at the start of the second half.
She is, and now Laois are 2 points clear at the minute. And to be fair, as you were saying, that the Laois forwards, they found something that's just clicking. Once they work together, they almost know where each other is before they even get there, so they know how to read each other's game quite well, and it's kind of clicked now since the first goal, since the play of the first goal. There's something in the forwards that has clicked that bit better than it had in the opening 25 minutes.
Yeah, well, Angela Gallagher is gone across there. She was just checking on something, but seems happy enough now. The play has been turned over again, and it's Aaron Fitzpatrick has a shout from Marr inside. Could give it to any one of them. Marr looking to get on this ball. It was a little bit short. Back out to Fitzpatrick, stepping inside her player. Aaron still going, fisted up, and umpires, they're thinking about it, going for the flag. No, he's waved it to the right and wide. Chance gonna begging, and if you're hoping to get anything from the umpires below on body language 18, you don't until the last minute.
No, absolutely not. You have to stand and wait till the flags are in the air to be sure.
So over to the far side of the field now, and Tyrone under that little bit of pressure now, and you'd feel that they obviously, you know, half time still at a 3-point lead, had conceded 2 goals, and you know, they come back out, but they've conceded now a goal and 2 points, and Laois have turned this game from being 2-6 to 3 down to lead by 3-5 to 2-6. That's been a phenomenal turn in this game. There's a free awarded though to Tyrone, and they're only their second attack of this half. As McHugh tries to get on it and gives it to the number 14, Maeve Mallon. Interchange of passes now, and Tyrone trying to get something out of it. Slane McCarroll getting forward there. It's going to be Canavan knocking this ball in, but Laois are back there with numbers, and that looked like a foul, I thought, on Grania Moore, but the play was allowed to continue, and then it's Laois that are judged to have fouled. So free in for Tyrone, and a chance for them to lift the siege a little bit. Latest score between Tip and Roscommon is 5 points to 3 just into the second half. So Cavan, they lead their game against Westmeath, probably unexpectedly, and Tip and Roscommon a little bit closer probably at the start of the second half, but that ball is put in and it's up and over the bar, and that's a good score from a Tyrone point of view. Might just settle their nerve.
Yeah, exactly, and I know we keep saying Tyrone will have the nerves, which is natural, and they're under a bit of pressure now, but they're really not a team that we could write off and say that they'll buckle under the pressure by any means. They know what they're about, they know what they need to do, and I think they're going to handle the pressure quite well. That score obviously will help set them up now going forward, because they needed to get that score up on the board, but I don't think there's any point in saying that they're going to buckle anytime soon. No, and they're turned over another Laois attack now and on a bit of a move, and as we know, there can be 5 to 10 minutes of games that players get dominant or teams get dominance. Laois had theirs now, maybe it's gone as Armagh come on, or Tyrone come on the attack. I'm thinking of Armagh for Tyrone the next day, and it's Niamh Hughes who's got some way through. Hughes, it's a shot away
and Luttrell has to be there to knock the ball out for a 45, and you have to credit young Naomi Luttrell there with that save and then the follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Super safe from Naomi Luttrell, and I think that'll give her a bit of confidence as well. As you were saying, Emer Barry would normally be in goal, and it's nice to see Naomi in there and doing well, as we assume she would anyway.
Yeah, well, she's in the sticks here today, replacing, of course, Emer Barry, who had a fine year, of course, as Leith, but a lot of those players out there had a fine year last year in winning the All-Ireland and being part of the Team of the Year. But Tyrone, anyway, have come here today asking an awful lot of questions of this Laois team. As we said, led 2-6-3 on the half-hour mark, and then in the next few minutes, Laois turned it all around to only be 3 points down at half-time. 2-6-3, two cracking goals, Ava Galvin and Aaron Fitzpatrick. And Laois come out then, start the second half, get a goal and 2 points. The goal coming from Mo Nerney after another well-worked move by the Laois team. But credit to Tyrone, not giving up the hunt, have got a point and now have this 45 that looks like Canavan is standing over. Flights it to the top of the D, looking for a bit of a run there. But Laois do that very, very well. Held off Chloe McCaffrey there. Laura Nerney using all her expertise, of course. And Grania Moran, who's taken up a bit of a new position, I think, back in the half-back line, keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, it's actually working quite well for her, to be fair. She's actually put in a great shift here today so far, and especially in the first half she was running rings and getting onto as much ball as she could and creating space and chances, so she's been doing really, really well here today.
Yeah, the ball is being moved here now by Laois up at the far end as well. As Grania now joins up with the forward movement. But Laois defensively just seem to have worked things out now, and of course Tyrone having to attack that low-lying sun that's gone down over the hills to our left, off in the Castlecomer, Kilkenny direction. It's our left-hand side. We're seeing Laois now at the moment attack the dressing room in here at Cretty Yard, flighting that ball in and over the bar. An excellent score. I think it's from the young lady from Timahoe, Katie Donoghue. That's a fine score off her right foot.
Every score here counts now at this point, especially with this matchup. It's so hard to call anything, but I think Laois are into a bit of a groove now.
So 3-6-2-7 it is, and Laois trying to win that ball, and they've won the free. I have to say, I think in any element of football, whether it's men's or ladies, if you have two free takers on the field, one that can kick left and one that can kick right, it's a huge plus to have, as it looks like Tyrone making a change, and it looks like their number 8 has been called ashore. Is that Emma Jane Gervin that's gone off there? And looks like number 18, Aoife Hurrisk, is on. As Laois don't really get that free working, and it's going to be a chance to come out. I don't know whether it's a temporary or anything like that, but Gervin will definitely be a loss for Tyrone. She's definitely one of their standout players, but here comes young McHugh looking to get forward. She's held up there by Aaron. Niamh Hughes, a very impressive young player for Tyrone also. Some of her running, I'd love to measure the speed, and there's no question about it. I think Aaron getting the ticking there. And just being warned.
Be very interesting to see some of the player stats as to how much ground they're covering here today, because there's a lot of running being done, and they're up and they're down.
Well, this lady is covering some amount of ground. She got 2 fine scores in that first half, and that is Niamh Hughes. Lost her footing there, did she? Yeah. I think she just slipped, but I think Angela Gallagher is trying to cover it up by saying it happened an earlier foul, and it wasn't that one maybe. So
Aaron definitely protesting that one anyway.
And then she apologised to the linesman.
That's Aaron.
So Tyrone go back with it, and it's Grania Rafferty was asking an awful lot of her wing back there to win that ball, but Tyrone have managed to cover around and get enough there. It was lucky. As Tyrone come hunting now again, having to work something, try and find attention inside maybe Canavan, but Canavan's been well marshalled in there by the Laois defence at this moment, and they all were on the ground and they all were trying to get it in possession, but Laois are the ones that come out with it. And again, that lady, as he said, veteran of many a campaign, Laura Nerney, that wins that ball, took a little bit of a knock there for her ability to win it, and it's going to be held up and Laois have a chance to build on. And you know, anything, I suppose, from a Laois point of view that kills Tyrone momentum is all good. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's what they're going to keep trying to do. They're just going to keep trying to go as they're going. Of course, Tyrone then will be trying to do the opposite. They'll be trying to build the momentum, but at the same time, Tyrone sneak in a little goal here now, and you know, they're back stronger than ever, and it's back to square game, you know.
But isn't that why the Laois goal was probably so important at the start of the second half? With the conditions,
crucial.
You know, that if Tyrone had maybe a cushion to hold on to, it would have been harder maybe for Laois then to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that goal gave Laois the upper hand to a certain extent. And as I said, there's no point here saying that this is a game that's won for Laois, because it's absolutely not. And we know how strong Tyrone are. We know how they react. They've good reactions. And as I said, a goal here would make a massive difference for Tyrone.
Fitzpatrick, Mara, and now Williams giving the ball to the shout that came from a young lady, Andrea Moore from Ballarone, that's one of the new players on the block, and she's played quite well out there against a strong Tyrone midfield. It's Mar on the ball now again, giving it back, and Laois are quite content to hold on to this ball and wait for the right ball to come to the hand, maybe to move it inside, because they lead and they're looking to invite Tyrone out on them. As Moran goes back with it, gives it to Anna Healy. Loves sitting in the pocket, Anna, and directing the play, giving it over here now to Williams. They're between their 45 and 65, waiting for Tyrone to come out and challenge them, and then to pick the pocket maybe. But Anna Healy going to be challenged there by Canavan or Rafferty. Rafferty saw enough. She wanted to get in there and disrupt that ball. Not happy with the way Laois maybe were holding on to it. Nerney giving it now to Galvin. Galvin inside to Fitzpatrick. Lovely step. Might give it to Mar, but she likes to go for her own score. Up and towards the uprights to the right and wide. That would have been a cracking effort if it had gone over, but it's out to the right and wide.
It would have been at least playing a very tactical game there, trying to draw out the Tyrone defence to try get them out and create that gap. They're clearly not finished with their goals yet. They look like they have their sights on another one. That looks like what they're trying to do is to create that space and create an opening for them to get right in there.
Looks like Tyrone have changed Grania Rafferty by the looks of things. Waiting to see the player that's come in. Just identify herself in a minute maybe with the jersey as Tyrone look to come on the attack, but reading it well there. There's another lady that got in for a start today, Sinead Farley, who I have to say probably had a difficult maybe opening quarter, but has really grown into the game. Tyrone's number 27 is in there, and that is Nicole Murphy from the Nafina club. But Tyrone, since the 30th minute of the first half, have only got 1 point. And in that meantime, Laois have scored 3-3, and they've turned that ball over now and they come out again. And Ava Galvin, again, a lady I'd love to see the stats on her running, and giving it there now to Aaron. Loses the ball though, just got a little bit too tight as the move came forward again. Laura Nerney coming in hard to try and deflect that ball away from Niamh Hughes. Definitely the standout player I think for Tyrone here today. Interchange now of passes as Horace comes inside, but she overplayed the ball. And Anna Healy just been told take your time, because Nerney is down, just feeling a bit of a bang there that she got just into the midriff. And just got to be careful now, Laura, as she walks it off, just a bit winded I'd say. Healy electing to go backwards with it, gives it into the middle to Dunn. Dunn nearly lost control of it. Thought she might have touched it on the ground there, but no, happy enough there as Ellen Healy won't thank her for the pass maybe, but she works her way out.
Ellen Healy looks to have got a bang there as she received the ball, so yeah, hopefully it's nothing too bad.
Were a little bit cumbersome there, and I thought could have delivered that ball long, you would have felt 18, because you know the wind is behind them, there is a bit of space there, but they've probably just, you know, in the last couple of minutes probably haven't been great in possession, let's say.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to say it, I think they might have taken their foot off the gas just a small bit, especially when they get their possession in around midfield. They're kind of, I know they're trying to drag out the Tyrone defence, but it's a very dangerous game to play, because with Tyrone defence, the ball could be turned over within seconds, and straight away we have the long ball in again and it's game on. So I think they need to be a bit more sharp, a bit more clever, and try keep up the same momentum that they've been having. Because if they take the foot off the gas at all, then it's every chance here for Tyrone, which obviously will work in Tyrone's favour. They'll be hoping they take the foot off the gas, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see indeed, as Lauren Ernie is just out there checking on Ellen Healy, make sure that she's okay. Just early game, the throw-in was Armagh and Monaghan. That was on at 1 o'clock in Middletown, and Armagh, of course, are the team that will be taking on Tyrone the next day, and Armagh won that by 10 points, 113 to 1-3. The other games, the latest scores that we had was that Tipperary were leading Roscommon. Just looking to check in on the Westmeath and Cavan game, because that was quite a close encounter too at one stage. And ball is working over on the far side. So latest score, and this will be some turn up for the Bucks. Cavan lead Westmeath by 2-6 to 2-3 with 6 minutes remaining in that game. Cavan bouncing back maybe from being foot of the table. It just goes to show you the league, Aideen, can bounce around a little bit, can't it?
It can. You can predict nothing in the league, as we have seen, but that's what makes it all the more exciting.
No question. As things here now for Laois at the moment, they're in front as Grania Moran tried to win that ball, but she definitely had the foot taken from under her, and the referee gives her a free in. So Cavan look like they're on the way to the points there, which, as I said, would be a bit of a turn up for the Bucks. Roscommon putting it up to Tipperary early doors, and latest score that we had was 6 points to 3. Just looking to update it there now to see if that's any change. 6 points to 4 now, the latest score that we've had in that Tipperary Roscommon game. So not a clear-cut game for Tipperary either, but Roscommon have made it difficult in all their games so far for their opposition, as Mo Nerney has a shot, and that's an incredible score. Top of the D, Mo just saying, stop the messing around, lads, give the ball to me, I'll put it over. Yeah,
and the left peg from Mo it's fairly reliable. In the first half there was a few shots that didn't land for her, but I think now it looks as if the left foot is ready to, and rearing to go.
Up and rearing to go as Laois go into a 3-point lead. Sean O'Kane, the one thing he's going to be worried about is the lack of urgency probably that Tyrone have shown in their forwards since Laois got those 2 goals. They've only got 1 point since the 30th minute of that first half. I know the conditions are against them, but they just can't seem to get beyond the Laois half-back line at the moment. But this lady is trying, and that's young Niamh Hughes showing one way and then the other to Anna Healy. Comes back on her right, has to hold on to the ball, gives it now to Maria Canavan, being well held up, and Marshall there has to go all the way back out to Maeve Corrigan. Corrigan on the Laois 45 has opportunity, but she gives it instead to Chloe McCaffrey. McCaffrey looking to step inside. Ava Galvin held her up, she gives it back to Corrigan. Corrigan now being met by Anna Healy, turns in Healy easily, but Healy gets back to hold her up. Laois have numbers back, they've only got 3 inside the Tyrone half, and it's a good block away there again by Laois, and an opportunity to break, and Nerney's trying to get there, Grania was trying to get there, but the referee said there was a push on the Tyrone player, and if Nerney had got away with that ball, there was a huge field of Credit Yard in front of her.
There's an open field here that was waiting for that ball, but I think this last quarter now, I think this is now or never for Tyrone. I know Laois are only up by 2, and it's always a dangerous spot to be in, is just leading by 2 points in any game, but it's now or never for Tyrone if they want to, you know, go ahead and take this game.
Claudia Dunn, thou shall not pass. The Ballerone woman has got in there and won that ball, and she's really dictated things over the last while and giving it off down there to Grania. Grania playing the ball forward, trying to get it to Nerney. Race out now all the way. Could be an interesting challenge. Putting in her body there, Katie Donoghue. And Katie Donoghue wins the free. She'd no right to win that ball.
Absolutely no, and she's got a free out of it. So unlucky there to turn over the ball. So we'll see how the response from Tyrone at this stage. They're going to want to. The long ball hasn't really worked this half. They haven't tried it as much, but it hasn't worked. I think Laois have clicked onto that, so they're going to have to try something new maybe.
Yeah, Tyrone are going to have to try, but they're still within touching distance despite all the possession Laois have had. The 18, you know, ball in the back of the net, and all of a sudden a different game waiting Curnow. So trying to get forward here was Hughes. Hughes giving it as McCaffrey gets it back to Maeve Mallon looking to pop the ball into the corner, looking for Canavan. You'd always fancy if she gets on her left foot she'll get something, puts it up good and high. Canavan with the shot, but she's pulled it out to the right and wide. That was a bit of a malaise that Laois hit in the first quarter of that first half, but that's out to the right and wide from Canavan. And you would feel though every time Tyrone get down there, if they want to get back in this game, everything is going to have to go over. Absolutely,
at this stage it is, and that would have made a massive difference. That would have brought it back to just a point in it, and as I said, there are 2 points in it, and all Tyrone need to do now is one score, a goal at the back of the net, and Tyrone have taken the lead. So
yeah, but Claudia Dunn is going to hold it up. Yeah, no question. The Ballerone woman has come out with it and given this ball off now. Laois just got to be strong here and hold on to this, trying to get forward. Rachel Williams, she was fouled there by Mallon, and she do right now if you're a Laois supporter anyway to hold on to the ball. And in fact I was saying I give the due there to Andrea Moran that won that ball, and for a lady that's just in around the senior team, that is an impressive performance. Absolutely, it's great to see her back. She would have been in a couple of years ago, and then she took last year out. She was doing a bit of travelling last year and she opted out, but it's great to see her back because she's been brilliant, and even for Ballyrone this year, her club, she's been spectacular. Lovely ball by Claudia Dunn trying to find Mo Nerney. It looked like it came off the Tyrone player, but the linesman has given it, and linesman is happy it came off to Mo Nerney, but not sure about that as the ball played back then by Caitlin Campbell. As Tyrone, as we said, still in touching distance, did lead by 3 at half time, haven't really kicked on. Laois were 2-3 at half time, and Tyrone have overplayed the ball again, and that just plays in to Laois's hand. So again, Aidan, I do come back to, for all Laois possession, they haven't been hugely spectacular. Once they got in front, as you said, they probably have taken the foot off the gas in the last 10 minutes, I'd say. They definitely have. I think they got their lead, they're just kind of hanging in there now, and they're just kind of trying to keep the ball for as long as they can, keep possession for as long as they can, and try run down the clock. But it's a dangerous game though sometimes. Absolutely, especially with the score difference at the moment. One wrong turn, one wrong ball, and you know it could quite literally be game over if Tyrone get in there for a goal. Laura Nerney was trying to do it all her own there, and it nearly worked out, but Tyrone have turned the ball over, and as he said, they're still within touching distance, 3-7-2-7, and they might try to work something now. McCaffrey over on the far side, wearing number 30 on her back, started this game looking to get inside the attentions there of Anna Healy. Comes inside, ball on the ground, referee says no foul. Laois are looking to drive out there with Grania Moore, another impressive performance with her. Looked to be a high challenge there on Laois's wing back Rachel Williams, and I know it's Niamh Hughes is getting a bit of a talking to, but she to me has been the one player that's probably taken this game to Laois in the second half for Tyrone. Really, some of her running and her I suppose just ability to get in around and annoy people has been a good part of this game. Yeah, absolutely. Credit where it's due. I wouldn't like to have to mark her myself because you'd be run ragged going around after her. She's covering a serious amount of ground there today, and definitely in the second half in particular, she really is standing out for Tyrone. Yeah, definitely standing out. You can see her there just off our camera at the minute. Dave might just pick her up. Yeah, number 10 there coming into her shot. Just getting a word there from the Mayor Ferna. But I think she'd be our Tyrone player of the match probably. If we were to pick one, and that's something we're going to get you, Aidan, to start thinking about there. And over the next couple of minutes, we probably won't announce it just until we're sure who's won this game, but just maybe to get an idea of players that might be in the hunt. Laois's forwards, all 6 of them could be in that hunt. Andrea Moore, and there's been a lot of good performances. Laura Nerney, Sinead Farley, not a bad performance either coming into the team today. Naomi Luttrell could have been a bit of a baptism of fire in the early stages, but she's done the needful as well when it counted, made an important stop also back at the start of the second half here. Tyrone, well, in the first half they had Grania Rafferty, Niamh Hughes, Maria Canavan. They were ones of standing out, Emma Jane Gervin and Aveen McHugh. But Laois, as we said, came from 2-6 to 3 down and lead 3-7 to 2-7, but haven't put this game to bed just yet, as we've 2 minutes remaining on the clock by the looks of things. Yeah, as Tyrone come hunting, they're still in this. Ball is inside now, looking to step away with the shot, but it's blocked down there. And Laois just need to maybe get the ball forward, but the only player that's forward at the moment, it's Laura Marie Marr. As Aaron Fitzpatrick looking to get this ball now in the direction here of Katie Donoghue. Fine performance from her as well. Here's a shout from Andrea Moore. Moore looking to toe tap it on the right, looking to get inside, and she's gone. She has 4 Tyrone jerseys in her wake as she gives it to Nerney, looking to step around the house here now a little bit. Back to Grania Moore. Laois now maybe don't need to cuff up position here, Aideen.
No, absolutely not. I think Laois made the right decision. They got a few players back. I think they're going to try hold possession here. It's a very dangerous game, as I say. I never enjoy seeing a team 2 points clear because it's too unreliable. You can't take anything for granted with it. They look like they're fairly threatening here now, and we have Rachel Williams running up the wing.
Fitzpatrick is going for this score to be the score of the game. Aaron Fitzpatrick has put that ball over the bar, came out of the traffic, decided I'm going to take this on 40 odd metres out, puts it over, cracking effort.
Yeah, and it's not an unusual thing for Aaron to do either. It was a fantastic score, and it'll help Laois settle that little bit more again. But then we'll have to see how Tyrone react. It's kind of, they're in the dying minutes now, and they're going to have to react as best they can, get in for goal. It's
a little bit of breathing space for Laois though. Yeah. 3-8 to 2-7. It just means that Tyrone now have to get 2 scores to just get a point out of this game. Or 2 scores, of course, to win it, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. Corrigan has gone off there for Tyrone. I see the Tyrone, some of the underage setup are down here supporting them. They've just started heading towards the dressing room in there, probably to clap off their team as they come off, and a good performance from their senior lady team. But unfortunately, looks like they might be heading back up north without the points as this ball looking to come in. Laois, got to be careful. Coming hunting again. Horace looking to get in there. Malin is in there as well, with the referee giving the benefit of the doubt to Laois there. That could have went either way, Aideen.
Could have went either way. I wasn't actually sure what way it was going to go. I couldn't really see it at first, and I thought it potentially could have went the other way. But we're into the dying minutes now, and it is do or die here for Tyrone.
And Tyrone come hunting again now. They're still in here with an opportunity. Charging forward on it there is Slane McCarroll looking to give the ball off with the shot. It's hit off the upright, bounces back out. Clodagh Dunn is there, and she hears a shout from Williams. Williams giving it across the field. They've got to be careful here now, Laois. It's Anna Healy, and it's some of the reliables now getting their hands on the ball as they look to clear some of the danger. Looking to keep running here now, and it's a strong run from Sinead Farley. Has come all the way forward, looking to take this ball down into the corner and buy a little bit of time. 31.5 minutes on the clock here. Laois lead 3-8 to 2-7. 4 minutes before the half-time break. You wouldn't have thought you'd see this performance. Laois were, well, they were 9 points down at one stage. It was 2-6 to 3, but they got it back to within 3 at half-time. Came out, got a goal and 2 points at the start of the second half, and have managed the game relatively well since. So, who are you thinking, Aideen, of your player of the match, I suppose?
I have one in mind, I do. I'm thinking based solely on more specifically on her first half. I think Ava Galvin deserves it. She had a superb first half. Now she's a bit quieter in this half, but still she's there when she's needed. She's vital. She's still running around the place, but her first half is absolutely exceptional. She scored a goal herself. She got a close to impossible pass off there on Fitzpatrick to get the second goal just before half time for Laois, and those 2 goals were what changed everything for Laois.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. I think when Laois were suffering, Ava Galvin was the one that was keeping them a head above water, I suppose, and then got a goal and assist, and she's the one that Aideen has given the player of the match to. So well done, Ava Galvin. But this game not done yet. 3-8 to 2-7. Mo Nerney trying to get on this ball, and it's still Angela Gallagher playing on. She played 6 minutes additional time at the end of the first half, and that 6 minutes were vital for Laois. And we're now 3 minutes of additional time played at the end of this half. 3-8 to 2-7 it continues. Tyrone come hunting. Laois travel to Tipperary on the 19th, so 2 weeks time. It's a break next weekend, whereas Tyrone are at home to Armagh, who have recorded their 3rd win on the bounce in the league, winning by 10 points today. Coming forward again, Slane McCarroll looking to go left, go right, back on the right, hopping the ball off McHugh. Looking to step around here at Tyrone, but Laois have the numbers back. McCaffrey going from distance, out to the right and wide. Great defensive play there by Laois, although it looks like it's going to be a free in, but the blue and white wall was up. There's not one Laois player inside the Tyrone half at the moment.
Yeah, you look up and all you could see there, no matter which Tyrone player got the ball, there was a wall of Laois women in front of her. So, you know, they really are doing everything they can to make sure that they walk away with this win here today. And, you know, they're the end of the first half was what changed everything for them. They took the foot off the brake, as I said, or foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, but they did enough to be in the position that they're in now at the minute.
So Laois hanging on here. Cavan have pulled off, if some people might call it a surprise, but they've defeated Westmeath by a point, 2-8 to 3-4 is how that game has gone. Cavan foot of the table coming into today with a -21 scoring difference as Tyrone have a shot. Somehow came off with that angle of the upright and the post or the crossbar, and it's bounced back out. That would have been a cracking effort if that had gone in. Ball is still though with Tyrone as they come hunting. Ball is there. The referee is going in. This could be a penalty. It is. And this now is asking questions of this Laois team. 35 minutes played in this second half. The referee continues to play.
The injury time is where everything is happening in this game. The injury time in the first
both
half.
halves, yeah. So it looks like it's McCaffrey that's going to take this penalty. She's going to hit it right-footed. Canavan took the one in the first half, took it left-footed. So Tyrone with the shot. Oh, clinical penalty and nearly stopped by Luttrell. She got her hand on it. Laois now got to be careful from this kick out.
Very careful. That was the perfect timing for Tyrone. I'd say they're absolutely delighted with that, and a complete nightmare for Laois to finish up the game that way. And here we have two attacking the one ball.
Oh, I don't know whether Tyrone would be happy with that. The kick out overturned and they're on the attack, and the referee blows the full-time whistle. Probably a little bit harsh on Tyrone at the end of that 18.
I'd say they thought that they were going to get that last chance to pop the ball over the bar, and I think they're protesting it there with the referee that she blew it up in the middle of an attack. So yeah, Laois were very, very lucky that they didn't get that chance in the end.
So 3-8 to 3-7 at the end of the game. We're just reflecting that there on the scoreboard. That penalty was scored for Tyrone, and had an attack there just at the end, 18, that, you know, if I'm Sean O'Kane, well, I might be overly happy with the second half performance. I think Tyrone went into their shell a little bit. You know, Laois managed that game very, very well, but then the pressure came on just in the last 5 minutes again.
Absolutely, the pressure came straight on, and as I said early on in the second half that I didn't think Tyrone were a team that were going to buckle under any sort of pressure, and to be fair to them, they didn't at all. They took it on, they did what they could. They were unlucky at times, but that was, you know, the perfect ending for them. I think they would have thought they maybe deserved a draw out of it to get that last point in the last play when the whistle was blown. I think they might feel a bit hard done by in that, but having said that, you know, that penalty now, it made a difference to them. It certainly wasn't the worst ending that they could have possibly had for themselves.
Let's, though, you know, a spell of time for Laois. You're probably talking about 5 minutes before the half-time whistle, 5 minutes at the start of the second half. That was what won the game.
Oh, absolutely. That's the dream ending to the first half for Laois, because that's what set them up for the second half then. They went into the second half. We thought maybe the half-time came at a bad time because it would have broken their momentum and they would have kind of been starting on fresh and having to rebuild that momentum at the beginning of the second half, but they came out and they built on it. They got some great scores in the opening half, or the opening couple of minutes of the second half. They got a goal and a point in the first couple of minutes, and they just kept building and building. They did take the foot off the gas a small bit, but they did enough just to get by, and they were playing a dangerous game with their possession in midfield at some points. But I think at some point, as much as us on the line here felt a bit nervous kind of watching that and watching them trying to drag out the defence, at the same time they looked as though they knew exactly what they were doing, and they looked as though they felt completely in control at the same time. Yeah,
I thought they managed, as you said, the game fairly well in that regard towards it. Ava Galvin getting your player of the match on the basis that, you know, she really was the one that was keeping the head above water when Laois were suffering, because at 2-6 to 3 points, you know, you were thinking Donny Brennan is going to have to probably lift a bit of paint off the wall at half time, but you know, just that finish, as you said, to have the start start of the second half. That's why we get the nod. But let's give Tyrone the credit, and if anything, that's Stoney something that's going to have to work on, between now and their next game against Tipperary, is maybe just while they were managing the game, they still didn't put Tyrone away, and they came at them there again and were probably very unlucky in some ways at the end.
Absolutely, and as much as we can say Laois had a fantastic end to the first half and a strong end to the second, the Tyrone were completely in control for the opening 25 to 30 minutes of the first half. They went ahead, was it 9 points that they went ahead at one point? Completely in control of the game. The long ball in was working for them every time and time again. And they looked as though they could have, kept building on that. Like that, at the same time, the start of the first half, Laois were missing out chances that would have, had them much more ahead by the end, and would have had them in a much better position leading up to half time, but they were lucky with the 2 goals that they got, and as you said, they could have put Tyrone away much earlier, but Tyrone, not only did Laois, look, you could say they didn't take their chances, but at the same time Tyrone simply didn't let them put them away. They didn't back down for a single second, and they fought up until the very end, as you could see there.
Absolutely they did, and that's great credit to them that they did, and they got 2 penalties and they were able to put it away. They were Chloe McCaffrey, but it is the home side that come away with that win, 3-8 to 3-7. And Aideen, of course, how vital it ultimately was that they got that win, because they're just looking at some of the other results, and the result of the day is Cavan, who were foot of the table, beating Westmeath, who put 7 goals beyond Laois the last day, 2-8 to 3-4. That brings Cavan on to 3, and now all of a sudden in the table we have 4 teams on 3 points. Laois getting to 6 are now third. That could be vital, because now it's a little bit of a rat race there between 4 teams on 3 points, and that relegation is, it's in the background now for some of those teams.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think maybe probably guilty of it myself, but there was just an assumption there that because of the win Westmeath had last week that they were going to be absolutely flying this week, but that, as you said, how unpredictable the league is, that's what makes it so good and so entertaining. So it's just going to make it more interesting now going forward.
It is, no question about it, going to make it more interesting going forward. But we are going to speak now to some of the protagonists within this Laois setup here. We'll allow the microphone just to be handed over there, and we'll talk firstly to Eva Galvin. I'll just get you, Aideen, to hand the mic there to Eva, if you don't mind. Eva, you're Aideen's player of the match. Anyway, that was a tough enough task here this afternoon. And I suppose then, in a way, lucky to get out just by the point in the end.
Yeah, no, it was great. We were missing a few girls now today as well, and we just came down here and we knew it would be tough, but we gave it everything. We were a bit slow in the first half to start, but towards the end of the first half, after those 2 goals, we kind of got into it, which is good.
For yourself, we felt you were one that was just probably keeping the head above water, because at 2-6 to 3 points, you're probably thinking, geez, we're going in here, Donny's going to have strong words to say, but just at that injury time spell, you got a bit of a run and you capitalised on it.
Yeah, I know, we know what we're capable of, and when we get going in, especially midfield, half forward line, our direct running, it's very hard to stop when we get going and through the hands, so it worked for us in the end. A
tough team they were, Tyrone. They brought everything to you here in that opening quarter, especially, but in that opening half.
Yeah, no, they're very good. We played them last year in Championship, and so it was a tough game against them, and they're a great team, but at least we got the win.
Yeah, but once you clicked, though, I was just impressed by the forwards. Again, we know the talent that you have, but once it took a while to click, but once you did, you made hay a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're only getting going. It's only January. We're doing a lot of tough training on Wednesdays and Fridays, so we're kind of just building from there. We're only kind of getting going, so hopefully we'll just keep building on that.
Well, a good win at home. Thanks indeed, Eva. You're our player of the match. Okay. Congratulations to you, Eva Galvin, here victorious today. I'm bringing in then on Mike Donny Brennan, who's with us here. Donny, probably a little bit tighter than that you wanted, probably there just at the end.
Yeah, no, look at them. I think they had a spell there in the last 5 minutes where they dominated. But look at, whenever you're in the lead by 3 or 4 pints or even 2 pints, it's the norm for the team to push on and throw everything at you. And look at, we held out and we're happy enough with the win. Look at, it's not really about the win. It's about learning from our mistakes and progression every day. And hopefully that's where we'll head.
Donny, when it was on the 30-minute mark in the first half, your message probably was a little bit different when it was on the 36-minute mark, because all of a sudden you just started to found holes and you made a bit of hay, as I said there to Eva, and only 3 points down at half time when it could have been 9.
Yeah, ownership, but I suppose, look, we got a fortuitous goal there, came back off the post, but we had missed chances as well, you know, that could have seen us a little bit closer. Tyrone were playing well, there's no point in saying any different. We were second best there for spells of the first half, but I do believe that we showed the character in the team and that bit of resilience that's needed for inter-county football, and the girls dug deep and we went in 3 points down, and the first score after half time was another goal for Laois, you know, so a big change in the turnaround, and we had the momentum there, and we pushed on.
I think one thing that you'll be happy with, although I'm sure there's things still to work on, will be the management of the game then after that bit of a spell, because, you know, you rarely looked in danger following that goal. Let's say I would say, took the air out of Tyrone's balloon a little bit.
Yeah, and look, I suppose football, as you know yourself, is momentum based. You know, so if goals, you know, is going to turn the game in Laois's favour when we did get them. The same as when Tyrone scored a goal. It's a big swing around. You have to score 4 points to counteract that goal. But look at the most pleasing performance today was we had a few debutants today that came on, and they really worked hard. And I think that's what the character of this team is huge. And we had a girl playing minor that started today, and it's all about development and building for the future, and she's learning from the more experienced players, and we're happy with where we're going.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I don't think you were let down by any of those four in lots of ways. They really stepped up and, you know, put their hand up, Donny, for a jersey the next day. And
that's what it's all about, you know. The girls that were missing today or weren't around for various reasons, they have to work harder now, do you know? Yeah. Do you know, and that's where we're going. There's no any girl that came in there today, they're going to have to fight hard in training and the next matches, and the next day we'll be going pretty much as is today.
Now, as I said to you before the game, winning at home was important, but I think even more important now, the fact that you won today. Cavan go along and beat Westmeath. You know, all of a sudden there's a bit of a dogfight starting to creep around the 3 points there, so getting the 6th, Donny, could be vital yet.
Look, we're not too worried about points or winning and losing. It's about the games, and it's about the girls learning. Okay. You know, we have an All-Ireland Senior Championship to prepare for, and that's what we're at. You know, winning and losing matches is only part of it. Like, I suppose what we're more concerned about is the game management there, and some things that we did manage that well, and we're learning as we go along. Well,
sure, congratulations anyway on the points here today, Donny Brennan. Thanks indeed for joining us here at Cretty Yard with regards to this. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hear from the Tyrone dugout, but I'll bring Aideen in just to wrap things up. Aideen, you know, Donny's going to play it down there a little bit. He's talking about the league being all about experience, but you know, I'm sure he's quite happy that he's found probably a couple of players there, as you said, that might put a bit of pressure on some of the others that might have thought they had a jersey.
Absolutely, and to a certain extent, look, that's what the league is about. It's about testing out things, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and helping the younger players to build and learn from the more experienced girls, as Donny said. But at the same time, yeah, there's a certain extent you'll play it down. The girls who weren't here today or didn't have their starting jersey, they have to work hard, because I don't think there was anybody out there that I could honestly point to and say no, that didn't work, or they absolutely put everything they had into it there today, and I think Donny has a bit of a task on his hands trying to pick teams going forward anyway.
Yeah, but that's the mindset you probably would love to be in when it's all positive. For Sean O'Kane now, he's a big game against Armagh now at home the next day. You know, Tyrone are probably looking that they're going to have to get something out of that, you would feel, so not to get caught up in any kind of dogfight again. They played so well here for the opening half hour. You were thinking, you know, that Laois were going to be up against it. Absolutely, and it looked in the first 20 to 25 minutes, actually the first half of normal time, because it was the injury time where everything started to happen for Laois, so it was the first half normal time up to the 30th minute. It looked as if Tyrone were in complete control, and you can't take anything away from them here today. Their defence was solid in the first half. There was a wall every time a Laois girl tried to attack and go forward. He will have to, you know, go back to the drawing board. It's going to be tough for them going forward because they're now off the back of 2 losses in a row, and that's not easy on any team to have to pick themselves up and go forward. But again, you have to remember it is the league. You're trialling what's working, what's not working, and there's always room for improvement. It's not championship yet. There's loads of time. There's loads of time to see what will work better next day, and it's all about, that's what this time is for now, is to do that. Yeah, well, we'll see how that works out for them. As I said, for Tyrone the next day, that's in 2 weeks' time with Armagh at home, whereas Laois travelled to Tipperary. And to give you the results then from today, going along some expected quarters, although I suppose the result of the day, considering that, you know, their opening 2 games is the one that saw Cavan defeat Westmeath by 2-8 to 3-4. Earlier, Armagh defeated Monaghan by 1-13 to 1-3, so it's 3 wins from 3, and it's 3 wins from 3 for Tipperary, but a low-scoring game that they obviously got out by the skin of their teeth a little bit. 6 points to 4, they defeated Roscommon. Roscommon will find themselves very, very unlucky to be foot of the table after 3 games when you consider they've put it up to all 3 teams they have played so far. But for Laois, well, it's important. They've got their second victory, and it's the second victory on home soil. So we'll see how they play out, of course, in 2 weeks' time. I'm sure, Aideen, they'll be glad at a break now in some ways, although this is probably a time now where they'll do a serious amount of work.
Absolutely, this is where the work has to be done, is when they're not on the field playing the games in the league. This is where they have to go back to the drawing board. Yes, they've gone away with their win, they're delighted with their win, they had a great comeback, but there's still things that need to be improved on, and I think this is the time to do it now. And I think Donny has gone away there, he knows what he needs to do, he knows what the girls need to do, and now they just need to figure out how to make that click going forward. Yeah,
well, let's see. Well, thanks indeed, Aideen, for joining us here this afternoon on a glorious day, a spring day, of course, and St. Bridget's weekend. We've the bank holiday to look forward to, a celebration of a great Irish woman. We were celebrating Irish women here today on a cracking encounter. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Laois have defeated Tyrone in the Lidl Ireland Ladies National Football League Division 2 Round 3 encounter by 3-8 to 3-7. With my thanks to Luke and Dave in the background, to Aideen again, I've been Killian Whelan. We'll talk to you soon.